Hello everyone, this is Ram Samdekar. Welcome to all in Java programming workshop. In this session, we will discuss about the two most important feature of Java programming. First, why Java is called as simple programming language, and second, which is most important, why Java is called as platform independent programming language. What do you mean by simple? Or when we can say that any programming language is a simple programming language. So now, if we are able to understand that programming language easily, then it is called as a simple programming language. And Java is a simple because the basic statements of Java has been taken from C language. I repeat, the basic statements used in a Java has been taken from C programming language. And if you are familiar with the C programming language, so it is very easy to understand the concept of Java programming. So what do you mean by basic statement? So as we know that when we work the C programming language, we already discussed about the term which is called as data types. What do you mean by data types? We are familiar with this. We know that what do you mean by variable? We are familiar with the term constant. Then most important term is the keywords. So we are familiar with this all. So this concept are also available in Java programming language. So if you know what do you mean by data type, what do you mean by keyword, so it is very easy for all of you to understand the concepts of Java programming language. Now there are some another most important points that makes a Java really a very simple programming language. So now understand which are those points. Now first one, Java is free from pointers, and hence we can achieve a less development time and less execution time. We know that most of the time when we deal with the C and C++ programming, so at that time it is very critical and very complex to write a code with the pointers concepts. So Java internally use a pointer concept, but as a programmer we don't have to bother about this because we are free from the pointers. We does not deal with the pointers in Java programming language, so that it take a less development time as well as less execution time. Fine. Now another important thing, Java provide a rich set of API, that is application programming interface, is available to develop any complex application. So as we know that Java nowadays are using to build a complex application like banking application, finance application, insurance application, then online shopping, e-commerce application. So whenever we want to build such applications, at that time we need such a programming language which provide a set of different API, and Java is very rich as compared to other programming language in terms of API. So second reason of Java is a simple because it's provide a huge set of API. So by using a API, we can write a code for complex application also. So now the third point is software. Java contains a program called as garbage collector, which always used to collect unreferenced or unused memory location for improving the performance of Java program. So generally what happen in the programming, we will create some variables, like in Java we create some objects, and suppose if we create the object O1 and this object is no longerly using in your program, but unnecessarily it is using your space, it is occupy your space. So now automatically Java runtime compiler, runtime engine call a garbage collector, and garbage collector release these objects which are no longerly used. So ultimately we are improving the performance of the program, we are avoiding the wastage of memory. So this is another most important concept which is provided by Java, which is called as a garbage collector. So we don't have to bother about memory release, it is automatically done with the help of garbage collector by Java itself. So as a programmer, we does not need to think about this, so that it is very simple for us. We don't have to take, I repeat, we don't have to take a care of memory performance. And now the another one, Java contains user-friendly syntax for developing a Java application. So as I already told you, Java is a simple because the basic statements of Java is taken from C programming language, and we are familiar with the C programming language. So that the syntax which is provided by a Java programming language, it is quite similar to the C programming language. So we don't think about, we don't need to learn a new syntax again and again. So for taking some example, like we know that in C programming language, to declare a integer type of variable, we use int data type, int, and we declare a variable a. Same pattern, same pattern, same syntax we use in a Java programming language. So we already know that what is the meaning of this statement. So this meaning, it's very simple. A is a variable of integer type. That means A is a variable which store the integer value. It's same in a C programming language as well as it is same in a Java programming language. But there is only difference in a memory. How much memory will be required? That is the difference between C and Java programming language. That's it. So that Java is called as a simple programming language. We does not need to bother about memory. We does not need to bother about the concept like a pointer. If you want to work with the complex applications, complex program, so by default Java provide a huge set of application programming interface, so that Java makes a very simple while writing a code. Now we move to the most important concept of Java programming language, which is called as Java is a platform independent programming language. Now understand what is platform independent. Remember one thing, this is a one reason because of that most of the organization are using Java programming language. C and C++ are not platform independent programming languages. Java is platform independent programming language. Now understand what do you mean by platform independent. But to understand a platform independent, first of all we should be know that what is platform dependent. What is platform dependent? So very simple. Platform dependence means a code which we compiles on one platform will not work on other platform. Once we write a code in one platform, we cannot execute that code on another platform. That is called as a platform dependent. So what do you mean by platform? So platform is nothing but a combination of operating system with processor. So we can say that Windows is a one platform, Linux is a platform, Mac OS is a platform. So the C language is a platform dependent language. Why C is a platform dependent programming language? We will see practically. So now, why C is not platform independent? That means C is a platform dependent. Now understand what is the meaning of this. Why C is a platform dependent? Heading is why C is not platform independent. That means C is a platform dependent. So understand this concept. Now take an example. You are writing a one code in C programming language and you save this file with dot extension. Like suppose the name of my file is r1.c. Right, this is a file which contains a C code. That is your source file. That is your source file. This is your r1.c is your source file. So now after writing a code, we give this code to the compiler. We give this code to the compiler. This is your compiler. We give the code to the compiler. Now compiler convert your code into machine readable form. convert your code into the machine readable form, which is nothing but your object file. What is nothing but your object file. So r1.c is your source file. So what will be your object file? Your object file will be r1.exe. r1.exe. So now understand why r1.exe. Suppose if you are writing if you are writing a code in a C programming language and your compiler is installed in Windows operating system. So at that time we need a compiler which runs on Windows operating system, and we know that Windows operating system will generate always a file, executable file with the extension .exe. So you remember here r1.exe is your object file, and this object file means what? This file contains a machine code that is in the form of 0 and 1, code completely in the form of 0 and 1, and your operating system will execute r1.exe file. That's simple. But suppose if you want to execute this r1.exe, if you want to execute r1.exe file on another platform. What do you mean by another platform? Like I have one system, and in this system we have Unix operating system. Or for better understanding, you are familiar with the one platform which is nothing but your Ubuntu operating system. So here machine and operating system install here as Ubuntu operating system. So we know that r1.exe file which we created in Windows platform. So if I give this exe file to Ubuntu operating system, we know that Ubuntu operating system cannot execute exe file because Ubuntu operating system work with output file with extension .out. By default we find out that a.out file. So this is the extension for your output file. So we cannot execute r1.exe file on Ubuntu operating system. So what is the solution for this? So what we have to do? We have to again compile r1.c file. We have to compile r1. So we cannot go with the r1.exe. Here we will take r1.c file. Again we compile this file on Ubuntu operating system, and later it will generate the output file as a r1.out file. So that means what? We cannot execute a C program from one platform to another platform. If we write a C program in Windows operating system without modification, we cannot execute that program on another operating system. So that C is called as a platform dependent programming language. Now we will take a more clarity. Again, you can find out that here we have a C source file with the, take an example with the .c extension. So this is your C source code. It will be given to the C compiler for which platform? Windows platform. It will generate the .exe file. So that .exe file will be executed on Windows platform. But when you want to execute a .exe file on a Linux platform, so what the Linux format? .out. So you cannot execute this file. On another side, on a Mac platform required the executable file as a DMG format. What is the format? DMG format. But your file is in exe format, so you cannot execute your exe format in Mac operating system. So that whenever you want to execute your same file on another platform, we have to modify that file. we have to modify that file. We need a compiler, like for Ubuntu operating system, Linux operating system, we have to work with the GCC compiler. We have to work with the compiler which is run on a Mac, and then after that we can execute our source file. So very simple. I repeat again, C is a platform dependent because once we write a code in a C programming language and compile that code in one platform, so after that we will get one executable file. We cannot run that executable file on another platform, so that C is called as a platform dependent programming language. And this problem is overcome by Java programming language. This problem is overcome by Java programming language. So now understand what is platform independent. What is platform independent? So platform independence means the code compiles on one platform can run on another platform without compilation. That means without modification. Once we write a code in a one platform without modification, without compilation, we can execute that code on another platform. Now Java is a platform independent language. That means Java codes compiles on Windows platform can be run on Linux platform as well as the Mac platform. Once we write a code in a Java without modification, we can execute that code on another platform. So Java is a platform dependent because of JVM. Most important point. Most of the time this question will be arise, why Java is a platform independent. The first answer should be because your JVM, Java is a platform independent because of JVM. And remember one point, JVM is platform dependent. JVM is platform dependent, so that Java is platform independent. We will see what is JVM. JVM full form is JVM, Java Virtual Machine. So in the latter session we will discuss about in detail what is JVM. Now understand why Java is a platform independent. Now we will see practically. Suppose if you are writing a code in a Java programming language, so suppose this is your source code, and this source code is, this file is having a name r1.java. In a Java we will use extension .java. Extension is .java. The file is r1.java. After writing r1.java file, the r1.java file will be given to the Java compiler. It will be given to the Java compiler. So this is your Java compiler. JC is nothing but your Java compiler. So r1.java file will be given to Java compiler. What is the work of compiler? Compiler will check the source code is in proper syntax or not. It is, the source code is correct or not. If it is correct, it will generate a one file which is called as .class file. It will create a file which is called as .class file, and here we will get r1.class file. Okay, and now this r1.class file will be given to Java Virtual Machine, which is nothing but Java interpreter. Compiler will create r1.class file. This r1.class file will be given to the JVM, which is Java interpreter. It interpret the complete code, convert that code into the machine code. That is in the form of 0 and 1 binary code. And after that we will get machine code, and this file will be executed by your Java interpreter, your machine. So now understand the process. First write r1.java file, that is your source file. It will be given to the Java compiler. Java compiler convert that file into the r1.class file, which is nothing but your which is nothing but your r1.class file, and this r1.class file will be given to the JVM, Java Virtual Machine, which is a Java interpreter, and your interpreter convert your code, your r1.class file into the machine readable format. Now for more clarity we will go with this, and now understand how the platform independence is achieved by your Java. So you can find out here. So here your file is Java source file. Source file will be given to the Java compiler. Java compiler convert that file into the .class file, and your .class file is called is nothing but your bytecode. We will see what is bytecode. And later, take an example. If we execute this bytecode on Windows operating system, so our Windows operating system required a JVM for Windows, Java Virtual Machine for Windows operating system. That means here to Windows operating system we are not giving any exe file, we are giving only .class file. This .class file will be executed by your JVM, Java Virtual Machine, and for Windows it will generate .exe file, and execution of exe files on Windows, your exe file will be executed. Same, suppose if same class file if you give to the Linux operating system, so at that time JVM of Linux convert that file into the .out format and it will be executed. Same pattern. If you give a .class file to the JVM for Mac, so Mac JVM will be converted into the .dmg format and that your file will be executed. So very simple. We does not need to modify or we need to recompile the code again and again, so that Java is called as a platform independent. Java is called as a platform independent programming language. If you compare this structure with the C programming language, what happened? r1.c will given to Windows, and Windows operating r1.c will be given to the compiler on Windows, and it will be create the r1.exe file. But on Java this not happened. In Java what happened? Source code will be given to the compiler, compiler generate a class file, compiler create your .class file, and this .class will be given to the JVM of Windows, Linux, and JVM of Mac operating system. So that Java is called as a platform independent programming language. Now with this we should know the some points. The bytecode is a platform independent, and bytecode is only understandable to the JVM, not the Windows, Linux, Mac operating system. Then so when we install a JDK, Java Development Kit, which is required for installation of Java, so we will learn this terminology. What do you mean by JVM? What do you mean by JDK, JRE? On any platform, then JDK or JRE has to be perform a specific, because JDK and JRE have inbuilt JVM which is platform specific. So we need a JVM for Windows, we need a JVM for Linux, and we need a JVM for Mac operating system. And now JVM is basically responsible for converting your .class file or bytecode into platform specific executable file, so that Java is called as a platform independent. So that Java is called as a platform independent. At last, I would like to conclude with a simple example. Suppose we are writing a code in a C programming language and your file is r1.c, and if you are using a Windows operating system, your operating system is Windows operating system, Windows operating system. So r1.c file will be compiled by C compiler, and it will create exe file, that is r1.exe file. So here this is a process of your C compilation. And if you want to execute r1.exe file, executable file on another environment, it is not possible. But in Java, you will write a source file r1.java. Java compiler convert this r1.file into r1.java file into r1.class file, and this r1.class file you can give to any platform, Windows platform, then Ubuntu platform or Mac platform, any platform. So on Windows platform we need Windows Java virtual machine. On here Ubuntu platform we need a JVM for Ubuntu. We need a JVM for Ubuntu operating system, so that Java is called as a platform independent programming language. These are the different reasons. So Java is called as your platform independent programming language. So fine, this is the most important feature of Java. Why Java is called as a platform independent programming language. In the simple word we can conclude that Java is a platform independent language because once we write a Java code, without a recompilation we can execute a same code on different platforms, because Java directly does not create output file. Java compiler first of all create a .class file, and then that .class file will be given to the respective Java virtual machine of that platform, so that Java is called as a platform independent. The terminologies like bytecode, JVM, JRE, JDK, these are the separate topics we will learn later. Fine. So these are the two most important features. Simple, Java is a simple, and second one is Java is a platform independent. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your time. In the next lecture, we will see other features of Java programming language. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.